30 and May 28th, I'm going to start the Zoning Board of Appeals with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 20F, this meeting is being recorded. The first item tonight is petition from Brendan Lord applicant, Quentin D. Lord, and Brendan Lord owners for a variance from the frontage requirements as the subject property lacks frontage on a street or way for purposes of maintaining the property as agricultural use, as well as constructing a single-family dwelling as mandated by zoning bylaw Article 7, Section 7.1. Subject property is located at 28 Cahoons Lane, Westport, Mass., and is shown on Assessor's Map 2, Lot 13. Voting on this will be Jerry Quintino, myself, Roger Menard, Constance Gee, Ray Elias, and Cynthia Kozekowicz. Is anybody from the petitioner actually here? Okay. I mean, we did receive a letter from Stephen Gioza, and I'll read that. On behalf of the petitioner, Brendan Lord, I hereby respectfully request a continuance in the public hearing currently scheduled for Wednesday, May 28, 2025. I have a recent schedule change that will have me out of the country next week, and I will be unavailable to represent the petitioner at this hearing. If possible, we would like to reschedule the hearing at your next available date after June 9th. And first, let me just say, what prompted this was a letter from Ralph Souza, the zoning officer, and I'll read the letter. After review of assessor's records, Lot 13 of Assessor's Map 2, it has been determined that the lot in question contains 14.25 acres of land but lacks frontage on a street or way as required by Westport zoning bylaws Article 7.1, minimum residential lot area and frontage. Therefore, the lot in question is considered unbuildable. You may appeal this determination as allowed by Mass General Law, Chapter 40A. So that's what's brought us here. Generally, the way this process works is I would have the petitioner provide whatever information he thinks is pertinent. The board would then ask questions, and then I would open it up to the public. And we were going to have our lawyer here because this deals into things like grandfathering issues and things like that that we really need our lawyers' intuition on. So we do have a request for continuance. And again, we are going to have to do that because even though, like I said, our lawyer was scheduled to be here, but since we had the request for a continuance, we weren't going to pay him to come here just to have a continuance. So that being said, and your name and address, please?
Brendan Lord, 343 Old Bedford Road.
Okay.
Westport, Mass.
So what I need from you then is, do we have the form, Maria? You gave him the form, yes. I need to fill out the form and formally ask for a continuance, and then we will set a date for the continuance. And I'm sorry for the public coming here to do this, but this does happen fairly regularly that, we schedule these things like 3 or 4 weeks in advance, and sometimes the lawyer or whatever, something happens and they can't make it. So we're generally fairly lenient about at least the first continuance under those kinds of conditions. Sometimes you just can't manage it. So you can fill out the form and then you can ask, officially ask us for a continuance.
Is there anything you wanted to say, Brendan?
Yeah, at this time, I would like to request a site visit from the board.
That we can do. I don't want to go into any details, though, of the petition, because without our lawyer here, I don't want him having to catch up on what's going on. I know we have had some emails and some letters from abutters, And again, I'll hold those until we actually have everybody here present, including your petitioner's attorney? Is it, the
Sorry.
person here, is that your attorney, or is that just your representative?
Currently,
Yeah,
just a representative.
okay, that's fine.
All right, I would like to request a continuance.
Okay, what's the date that we have?
July 9th.
On July 9th.
July 9th.
2025, yeah.
Okay.
I, Brendan Lord, request that the hearing on my petition to be continued until July 9th, 2025. I understand that the deadline for making a decision will be extended accordingly.
Okay. We have a request. Do you want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to
Grant the request.
grant the request, yeah.
Do I have a second? Any discussion? No. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, no. That's unanimous. So we will continue this here, July 9th at 6:30, and hopefully your representative will be here, and we will have our lawyer here as well. And if any of the, like I said, we do have correspondence from abutters, and if anybody else, and if any other abutter wants to provide any information, they can provide it to Maria, and we will read it at the continuation.
Very well, thank you.
That's it.
How about the site?
Oh, site. Yes, we can talk about when we can do a site visit.
I'm pretty flexible. I can work around the board.
Okay. Is Saturdays usually the best?
What was the question?
Saturday, when,
Yeah, we could Saturday.
Well, we should consider the board's saying that we want to do this.
Yes.
That's the first.
I would also like to see on this property, after reading the butters information, there was stuff in there that didn't show up in the application. And I think it would warrant a site visit, but I can't ask the questions now.
right,
And I really think that we need to do the site visit after we do the July 9th thing, because it would be nice for expediency to do it ahead of time. But I have a feeling that too much would come out at the site visit that should actually, in other words, we should hear
Oh.
the petition
right.
before we go on a site visit.
Yes, right, yes, okay.
You understand?
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise, we're gathering information that's not public knowledge.
And
I agree with
usually
that.
on a site visit, we do not discuss what's, situation. And I think if we did it cold, like just based on what we see here, we would be at a disadvantage, and I think everybody would be at a disadvantage.
Okay. Okay, why don't we hold off then until the next hearing? And then at the next hearing, after we hear all the information from the petitioner, from the abutters, from our lawyer, then we can decide if we still need a site visit.
Right, it may very well be.
And we may not even need it. Okay, so we'll do that.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, is there any other business? We don't have any meeting minutes to go over.
No, not yet.
We already talked about the town meeting. Is there any other business? Just to bring you up to date, what the plan is for the Pine Ridge is that, as you remember from the last hearing, the petitioner is going to provide an updated waiver list. Hopefully in the next couple of days. He's supposed to do this week sometime.
Said it was supposed to be by today.
Thursday, or this Thursday, so anyway, this week. At which place, the plan is then to immediately get that to our attorney, George, who, I'm relying on him to essentially tell us which ones are just purely administrative paperwork, so that we can prune it down to a small subset, and then I will set up a meeting with conservation and with health and fire, whoever else.
And with you as our representative.
As me as the representative, you voted me in, and that's like, but anyway,
Those who suggest.
hopefully the week of the 9th is what we're looking at, hopefully, if in fact we get the waiver list from the petitioner and I get George's take on the list, so that, like I said, we can prove. The whole reason for this is so that it's not that we are going to make a decision, so that we can sort of understand what each of the waivers are, so that we can come back to the board in our next hearing and make recommendations for each of the waivers. And then the board can decide what to do with each of the waivers. But at least then we're not chasing our tail on 30 waivers. It'll take days. So, hopefully, and hopefully we get it down to a small subset that are, say, more controversial than, hopefully some of them are going to be administrative and we can just not ignore, but, those are pretty straightforward. I believe there'll be another subset that we can pretty much agree to or agree not to agree to.
Right.
And then there'll be hopefully a small subset that we have to discuss and, come to a board. That's certainly the goal. So anyway, that's about it. There's nothing else going on. We have another, when's our next hearing?
25th.
That's for the Pine Ridge, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's at 7?
Yes.
Oh, that's at 7, right, because the attorney couldn't make it until 7. Right, okay. And any other business? No?
Cynthia.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting, the hearing, or whatever it is called.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. All opposed, no? Val, want to cut us off? I do want to